Hey there! I've returned for one last one today on my bargain beer series. And I just did one on it. Why does it deserve two? Well, it probably doesn't, but I still got a little beer left. I'm going to tell you a little more. Blue Diamond, Blue Diamond Lager. Uh, there you go. It's very light. Out of the bargain beers I've had, Stag, the Genesee Cream, the regular Genesee, and now the Blue Diamond. Of those four, to be honest, this is probably the worst. This is probably the one I won't buy again. But you never know till you try. Minhas, I know, brews a lot for Trader Joe's. I've bought some of their products there, and they're not always terrible. So you never know till you try. Ugh. The Stag I bought about a 24-ounce can for $1. And the reason I bought it was I happened to walk into two places that same day. The first place it was $1.40. I almost bought it, but I didn't. I walked away from it. The second place was $1. So I went ahead and bought it because I wasn't sure if I'd ever had it before. It's basically one of those just regional beers now. It's only in, parts of Illinois, just this little corner of Missouri. It's just kind of one of those small regional beers that kind of went out, but came back again because there was a little niche for it. It's got a slightly different flavor, and it's honestly not terrible. I mean, it's a beer you want to hate because it's supposed to be a cheap bargain beer, but the truth is, coming in after a 100-degree day, it did feel refreshing. I didn't hate it. Um, then I had the Genesee Cream from Genesee Brewing Company in Rochester, New York, and I also had the regular Genesee. They're completely different animals. The cream a little more flavor, but still light and refreshing. The regular Genesee much lighter. A beer that uses barley and corn grits, but despite the fact that it does use corn grits, it doesn't have that sickening sweet taste that I get from like a PBR that uses straight corn syrup. So there are degrees of bargain beers, and again, I go back. I've talked about this 100 million times. Is we go back to marketing. A lot of the hipsters like to order PBRs. So for some reason, it's become cool. But for me, in the bargain beer spectrum, that's one of the worst. I'm not a PBR fan at all. But you've all seen me drink these other bargain beers. So it's not that I'm a total beer snob, but I think PBR is one of the worst offenders because they use the straight corn syrup that makes a much worse beer. You get that extremely lazy finish. And from the Genesee, the straight Genesee, you don't get that as much. You get a much cleaner finish. It's a much better beer, and it's at a much better price. I mean, I bought a 30-pack for $12.55. The Genesee Cream, I bought a 24-ounce can for $1. Is that the regular price? No, it was on sale at a Whole Foods. But that's how I buy all my beer, folks. Even when I buy the very expensive, Darling Crafts that I love to drink so much. I don't buy nothing that's not marked down. I never buy a $15 six-pack until that $15 six-pack's marked to 10, or that $10 six-pack's marked down to 8, or, on down the line. I mean, I'm looking for a bargain, and you should too. Don't be, craft beer geeks like to think they're above, the macro drinkers who buy solely on marketing. Budweiser fans drink Bud because they love the commercials, and Miller, and so on and so on. Silver Bullet and Coors, and the craft beer drinkers get sucked in too. They see these darling, there's certain darling breweries that everybody loves for some certain reason. So, I have to buy this. I have to pay $20 for this six-pack, even though this one here for 10 is just as good. Don't get sucked into that crap in whatever beer you're buying. Back to my last swallow of this before wrapping up this video. No, I'm probably never going to buy that beer again. But don't be afraid to try something. Maybe you'll, maybe you'll get a bummer. But again, it was $3. So there you go. That's Tom the Beer Whisperer. I'll see you later. Bargain Beer Series. Yahoo!